Hello everyone, welcome back to Hot Trends Entertainment. What's buzzing in the air? Hold up, let me spill it for you. DJ Black Coffee shares the tragedy of his hand because there have been a lot of conspiracies from different people, even closest friends of Anele Mdoda said that it was car accident, taxi, he fell off, but now we're going to hear from the horse's mouth what really happened to DJ Black Coffee, why he no longer shows off his hand, what happened to his hand.
It took me a while to really adapt to the name, but it's quite cool. It works everywhere.
It honestly does.
Yeah.
So I know 3 people, right, personally, but they don't know each other. But I know them, like I'm the common link between them.
Yeah.
Who all swear that they were there the day you had your car accident.
Wow.
I know, right? and it's so funny, and because we're all from Mdoda, right?
Yeah.
So I let them tell the story, and I've never
Is
said.
it different?
Yeah.
With all of them?
Yeah, one is a taxi, one is a car, one is you guys were.
One is right.
No, one is you guys were playing on the roof of the shop. And then you fell and you landed on your hand. And it's fine. Me, I listen to all the stories. I'm like, okay, Nyani, you. Then the next one comes like a year later. So, what's the story?
The story is eve of Nelson Mandela's release.
10th of Feb.
Yes, the whole country's going crazy celebrating Mandela's release, and Mdoda, it's small town.
Mandela's from Mdoda, so our celebrations were like...
It was crazy, and I think the whole idea was to sing, camp in a stadium.
Yeah.
Which is not far, Rotary, not far from our house.
Yeah.
But before then, people were just singing on the streets, going up and down.
Oh, Mandela,
and they went past my house. My house is not on the main road, which was quite weird. They went past my house, and my grand was there, who was very strict. We just jumped in, and she didn't see anything wrong because she thought we were going to come back, but I never did. We just up and down, I think early hours of the morning, around 3, 4 now on the 11th, just out of nowhere, I just heard the sound. And it didn't sound like a car bumping people. It sounded like someone was shooting. We had this sound, and then it was just dark, it was blank. And then when I woke up, there was fire, they were burning this guy's taxi, there was cars taking people to the hospital, and I was in one of the cars to the hospital. I wasn't clear what was happening.
Yeah.
And when I got to the hospital, I was told, Mdoda, they couldn't figure out what was wrong. They just thought it's just a fracture on the arm.
Yeah.
Early hours in the morning, I went back home in pain. Now Mandela's out. I was sitting on the couch. I didn't even know how to sit. I was in crazy pain, and he was out of jail, and we saw the celebrations, and
everyone's happy, and you're like, if this guy only knew.
I know, yeah, it was really bad. And the second day, my grandmother was like, okay, you have to go home. So I got in a taxi the following day to Durban. The guy who's talking about an accident from the roof, that might be true. As a kid, I hung out with some crazy kids, and we had a lot of different accidents as kids.
Okay, so he's not lying. He's just lying.
That story. There was a point where I had a lot of injuries, to a point where my grandmother was worried that she kept saying, they're going to take you.
As in you're going to die?
Yeah, she was they're going to take this. There's some spirit that is following you.
Did she ever slaughter? Because black mothers and slaughter.
No, she did in a way. She took me to and my grandmother was very religious, so she didn't believe in going to Inyanga to find out. So she took me to this church, and she spoke to this lady, and she was like, I have a serious problem. This is my grandson, and at least once a week there's an accident.
If you could walk,
I'll go play a soccer game. I come back with stitches on my head, or there was just a lot happening.
Yeah.
And so this was it now. She was like, okay, you have to go home.
So
you can't die in my care, basically.
Okay. So when does she learn? Wait. When you say you had to go home, as in this is when you move from Mdoda for good?
No, it wasn't. But she just like, because the hospital doesn't know what's wrong with you. Because usually you get a cast.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a fracture, but they couldn't because they didn't know. It's a
No.
small hospital. Then I got admitted. I think I stayed in hospital for like 3 months. They didn't know what was happening, you know, until they called in a specialist and they found out it was a brachial plexus, which was the damage of the nerves on my shoulder.
Okay.
After that, they were like, okay, there seems to be no life in your arm at all. So we're going to do a test. If we find nothing, we're going to amputate your arm. You know, so I went through this and they put all these things on it to see if there was life. And fortunately there was, but they just said it's going to take a lot of time.
For it to rehabilitate,
Yeah, but
for it to grow.
my nerves were badly damaged. You know, and at the time I couldn't move, I couldn't feel even temperature. If you were to pour cold water or hot water, I wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Wouldn't react.
So it has taken time for me to sort of like come back, and I'm starting to train now. I'm starting to slowly.
So you can feel a little something every
Like
now and then.
Sensation now, I'm better. I've started feeling all the way down.
And
to
I mean,
my-
science is better now, so obviously there's.
I don't know if I want to do this. You know.
You don't want to be like a guinea pig, like, let's try this.
I look at it this way. God just put me in that space for a purpose. You know, I can't imagine myself now DJing with 2 hands. I think I'd
It would be
suck.
so awkward.
I'd suck.
Yeah, we'd all be like, what's it doing? Black. Pakistan, put your hand back in. We'll be back after the break.
So now, Satha, we actually have heard from DJ Black Coffee what really happened, and he feels like he never doesn't want it to be fixed with all this new technology and science. He has accepted the situation and he does not want to be a guinea pig. What are your thoughts, guys? Would it be normal for him to actually fix it and then we see him with both hands? Because Anele Mdoda as well is saying, no, it will be so weird to see him with his hand. Share your thoughts down below, like and share. That's it for today, guys. Goodbye. Hot Trends Entertainment will always spill it for you. Ciao, ciao.